Did you get to see the way Muhammadu pulls this?
Don't forget to send in your messages.
There's a difference between Pikin, child, and is.
لا تلقوا بأيديكم إلى التهلكة. That is this. You can do more with less people.
If we have a better way of addressing these issues, taking care of...
Congratulations, you were able to sign Tino Werner from RB Leipzig.
So you take water before your workout.
People have used that for using TikTok to do that.
Hello there, it's time for Weekend File on the NTA and we are live in Abuja. Thanks for joining us. It is that time of the year when the rains are gradually winding up and we're soon ushering a new season from Harmattan to dry season. And with that comes the high expectation of harvest of food in abundance beyond the consumption need of the nation. Even with this peak of food abundance, the nation's food security is under threat. First, there is that initial wastage because there is no storage capacity to preserve many items and limited value chain to absorb the excesses of this peak period. This is made worse by the unwholesome activities of the middlemen who have been buying and holding these essential commodities for profiteering. In addressing this all-important national issue, President Muhammadu Buhari has directed the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development to rehabilitate the National Food Reserve Agency and also work with security agencies, the Nigeria Commodity Exchange and the National Assembly to find a lasting solution to these disruptive and unpatriotic holding activities. Now, to further enhance food production in the country, the federal government is steadily rehabilitating dams and building new ones, and is also in the process of rehabilitating several river basin development authorities for irrigation purposes. All these are welcome developments in view of the fact that the agricultural sector remains key to the nation's economic diversification efforts and has been a consistent driver of the non-oil sector, contributing 22.35% and 22.98% to the overall gross domestic product (GDP) in the first and second quarters of 2021. The conversation continues tonight on Weekend File as we look at food situations and the efforts of the federal government to make food more available to Nigerians. Of course, we have situation reports from across the zones, and our guest is Oladotun Abiodun, Head Market Information System, Nigeria Commodity Exchange. I am Kenem Ima Abodike. Now on the news. Let's start on security matters, as all forms of violent crimes undermining national security and creating fear and anxiety among the citizenry will be eliminated within the ambit of the law. President Muhammadu Buhari gave this assurance in Kaduna at the passing out parade of cadets of 68 regular corps of the Nigerian Defense Academy. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has the report.
Since establishment in 1964, the Nigerian Defense Academy remains unwavering in its commitment to the execution of its core mandate of training young Nigerians for the armed forces to effectively protect and defend the nation's territorial integrity. Consequently, for the 68 regular corps, 250 out of the nearly 500 cadets that were enrolled 5 years ago passed out of the military institution. They were, amongst others, certified to be of good character, academically sound, unquestionably loyal, and indeed courageous in the face of danger. President Muhammadu Buhari, who acknowledged the security threats bedeviling the nation, including insurgency, banditry, kidnapping, and politically motivated killings, reassured Nigerians that nothing will be left to chance towards getting all the nefarious activities curtailed and completely rid of.
We have received new equipment in our fight against any form of insecurity from our friendly countries. These assets will be deployed to accelerate the fight against insecurity in all parts of the country. I assure you that this government will not be distracted from achieving the main thrust upon which we were elected.
He said a new landing ship tank has also been introduced to bolster the sea lift capability of the Nigerian Navy towards promoting maritime commerce, peace and safety within the Gulf of Guinea. The president also promised to give vent to the much cherished values of fairness, equity and justice to the people.
I must also emphasize here that for us to achieve peaceful, prosperous and democratic country that will attract foreign investors, we must be law-abiding, committed and promoters of peaceful coexistence. This is a collective responsibility which will definitely yield the Nigeria of our dreams.
While wishing the young officers great success in their chosen career, President Buhari believes that with the training acquired, they are now in good state to meet whatever lies ahead in the contemporary security environment described as uncertain, complex and ambiguous. The young graduating officers who distinguished themselves during the training session were given awards, with S.E. Koyaya carting home the sword of honor as the best all-round cadet.
Muhammadu Buhari
and the young officers were formally commissioned and decorated with their new ranks of second lieutenant for the Army, sub-lieutenant for the Navy, and pilot officers for the Air Force.
Congratulations.
President Buhari also administered oath of allegiance on the newly commissioned officers. With its motto, loyalty and valor, the Nigerian Defense Academy has so far graduated 20,880 officers, including nearly 500 from sister African countries. Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Theatre Commander Joint Task Force Northeast Operation Hadinkai, Major General Christopher Musa has inaugurated a special and general court-martial to try 158 personnel accused of committing various offences. Maimuna Garba has that report.
The Special and General Courts Martial inaugurated are expected to sit in Maiduguri with 158 accused personnel whose case files are already before the court, while another General Court Martial 2 is filed for inauguration in Damaturu Sector 2 Operation Hadinkai. Out of the 158 accused personnel to be tried, 28 are officers while 130 are soldiers. According to the Theatre Commander Operation Hadinkai, Major General Christopher Musa, court-martial trials are regimental and judicial exercise meant to sustain discipline in the military. The Theatre Commander said emphasis shall be laid on statute laws and traditional military regimentation with due adherence to fair hearing as enshrined in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended.
Not joyful for us to see our commanders, personnel, our juniors being prosecuted. But because we have a duty, we are duty bound to do that. It is not easy for everybody else in the chapter has sacrificed so much to be here. So it is important for the courts to do the needful.
Major General Musa further implored the courts to diligently discharge their duties with strict guidance by the need to do justice to the accused persons. In Maiduguri, Maimuna Garba, NTA News.
Troops of Sector 5 of Exercise Golden Dawn deployed in Anambra State have eliminated 3 unknown gunmen who attacked a Nigerian police checkpoint along Okija-Onitsha Expressway. In a statement, the Director, Army Public Relations, Brigadier General Onyema Nwachukwu says troops overwhelmed the gunmen, forcing them to flee the scene. Brigadier General Onyema notes that a vehicle and 2 motorcycles were recovered from the scene, while a policeman paid the supreme sacrifice during the encounter. Meanwhile, Zamfara State Police Command says no military personnel was arrested for involvement in banditry, as reported in the social media. A statement by the Command Public Relations Officer Muhammadu debunked the story. describing it as unfounded. The statement further warns against spreading fake and unsubstantiated information, stressing that any person or group found engaging in the unwholesome act will be made to face the full wrath of the law. Away from security matters now, to ensure accuracy of data in the ongoing evaluation of bitumen deposits in the country, the Nigerian Geological Survey Agency is improving the capacity of its technical staff on blowout and other hazards prevention in Ogun State. Joel Bokbola reports that this is to ensure best practice and maximize the gains of bitumen value chain.
Nigeria Geological Service Agency is currently evaluating the bitumen potentials of the country. To ensure an efficient and reliable data of bitumen deposits, the agency is training its technical staff on global best practice in drilling to prevent blowouts and other hazards. The training is also geared towards ensuring sustenance of the momentum in the exploration of bitumen. Participants demonstrated their new skill in blowouts and other hazard prevention. Samples of bitumen were showcased as a confirmation of the successful exploration. The Director, Regional Geology Department, Nigerian Geological Survey Agency, said the training will improve bitumen exploration and ensure accurate data.
What we are doing today is actually enhancing the capacity of our drilling crew so that they will be able to drill in line with best practices and ensure that the data, geoscientific data that is being generated will be sufficient enough to attract investments.
The output, the result of completion of the core process is going to be enhanced and robust more than what they have been doing before.
A total of 11 sites have so far been explored in Ogun State, with bitumen deposits in 8 of them. In Ijebu-Ode, Joel Bokbola, NTA News.
Now, Kano State government is curating a more conducive environment for prospective investors as part of measures to stimulate economic growth and job opportunities. Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje stated this while conducting rounds of broadcast media executives at sites of mega projects in the state capital. Abdullahi Mustafa has details.
This is not the first time special guests have been conducted around mega infrastructural development projects of the Ganduje administration in Kano State. It is not business as usual this time around. Instead of watching and admiring, delegates to the 75th General Assembly and Annual General Meeting of the Broadcasting Organizations of Nigeria (BON) were not only asking questions but making observations, comments and suggestions.
We talked about the experts coming in and sharing the availability of spare parts. Are we thinking in future of getting them to assemble, knock down spare parts so that we can have funds being assembled in this market? Is that a possibility?
Yes. That is why we are connecting them so that seeing is believing. If you tell them stories, they will talk about security in Nigeria, blah, blah, blah. But once you succeed in bringing them here, as they have seen the market, I don't think that will be information to them.
Yes, sir.
They will click. If they want part of their industries to be built in Kano because of the market, we don't need to convince them.
Among the mega projects visited are the multi-billion naira integrated skills acquisition center, Kano Economic City, as well as completed and ongoing flyover projects, including the Muhammadu Buhari interchange, which is expected to be completed and inaugurated by the President next year. Also toured by the visiting broadcast media executives is the about to be completed ultra-modern Kano Cancer Treatment Center. Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
The Nigeria Governors Forum, NGF, is intervening in 5 states of Abia, Imo, Ondo, Ekiti and Kaduna to permanently resolve grey areas arising from issues of the recently suspended resident doctor strike. The forum also plays support for research in priority medical fields at national and sub-national levels and strengthen commitments towards achieving control status of HIV in 2022 after presentation by Mark Gambruni. NGF also consented to the memorandum signed between the Ministry of Trade and Investment, Nigeria Arabian Gulf Chamber of Commerce to attract direct foreign investment on the ongoing 2020 Dubai Expo. This is the 34th teleconference and the 11th in series in 2021 under the new normal occasioned by the COVID-19 pandemic. The Minister of State, Industry, Trade and Investment, Mariam Katagum, says the federal government remains determined to turning around the nation's fortunes through robust policies like the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan. She stated this in a message to the 50th anniversary celebration of the Industrial Training Fund, ITF, in Jos. Ndeyang Adeyaba Giang reports.
Each 8th of October 1971, the ITF has initiated various programs that trained Nigerians with cutting-edge technical skills and develop human resource for the nation. The Minister of State, Industry, Trades and Investment representative says ITF is a dependable ally, contributing significantly to the development of the nation's economy.
Is a very significant action, especially when we engage in contributions of the ITF to growth of the human economy.
Speaking on the theme, changing the poverty narrative through skills, the role of ITF, and the imperative for institutions synergy, the Chief Executive Officer, Just Business School, emphasized the need for a national policy on skills development.
Everybody's doing his own or his or her own skill development program. So we need a coordinating platform.
We expect is to put in more efforts, bring in a lot of vision to bear in order to meet the expectations of Nigerians.
The skills and the skills acquisition that ITF is going to give in the next 100 years is phenomenal. There are so many qualified people in the ITF.
As part of its corporate social responsibility, the organization presented cement towards assisting in rebuilding the Irigwe community devastated by recent violent attacks in Jos, Indenyen and the Abidjan. NTA News.
The National Youth Service Corps says it would apply sanctions on any errant coal producing institution found to have compromised in order to serve as deterrent to others. Director General NYSC Brigadier General Shuaibu Ibrahim stated this at the opening of the 2021 Batch C pre-mobilization workshop in Abuja. Olayinka Ojo reports.
For some time now, the NYSC has been faced with challenges occasioned by the presentation of unqualified graduates for national service by some core producing institutions.
This is without prejudice to the fact that the NYSC Act is clear on act of wrongdoing and each person will be held accountable for his role.
And in this auditorium are those in charge of the entire mobilization processes, which begins from the submission of names of qualified graduates to the NYSC scheme. Although the scheme has been recording tremendous improvements in data integrity through a series of reform, the Corps wants all stakeholders in the mobilization process to live above board in the discharge of their responsibilities.
Few acts of commission and omission are still being noticed. We will therefore not hesitate to apply the necessary sanctions on any institutions and or officials to serve as deterrent to others.
The theme of the workshop is enhancing stakeholders' role for a credible mobilization process. Olayinka Ojo, NTA News.
The campaign to continuously give Nigeria a positive image globally is gaining more momentum. Guests at a public presentation of a book titled The Beauties of Nigeria say it aptly captures the nation in its brightest colors and the ideals that have sustained it. Kenneth Nanim reports.
The book Beauties of Nigeria is a compendium of success stories of Nigeria as a nation and as a people.
Nigerians have been breaking new grounds in every facet of life, either at home or in diaspora, making the country proud. Even in this hall, the aura of Nigeria's national color is suggestive of this fact.
As you are all here, you are also representatives of the beauties of Nigeria.
A journalist, social analyst, and author, Bonaventure Philip Miller, however, captured these footprints with unique insight in his book, which reviewers say interprets the nation's attributes of strength and unity in diversity.
The book is also a wake-up call that these are areas, Nollywood, Nigerian football, music, art and culture and all that. These are areas that government should also look at and invest more.
We have to realize that the development of our country squarely rests in us. We have areas where we have to bring in the private sector to assist in developing the capacities.
In a message, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, and other guests challenged Nigerians on patriotic service to the fatherland, while the author pledged free copies to Nigeria foreign embassies, academic institutions, banks, and other relevant institutions. The Nigerian Copyrights Commission also pledged support to protect the intellectual property. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
Now, President Muhammadu Buhari congratulates Dr. Osahun Enabulele on his election as the President of the World Medical Association. The President recognizes that at a time when the COVID-19 pandemic has challenged the world, a Nigerian has been elected to lead a very important body whose members around the globe deserve commendation for their life-saving roles and personal sacrifices to save humanity. President Buhari trusts that the past President of the Nigerian Medical Association and current President of Commonwealth Medical Association will bring his wealth of experience in the medical field and impressive leadership skills to his new position. The President wishes Dr. Enabulele, a Chief Consultant Family Physician, every success in the new assignment, assuring him of the federal government's unflinching support. You're watching Weekend File on the NTA. Remember, we are looking at food situations and the efforts of the federal government to make food readily available to the people. Stay with us. We'll be back after the break.
Yeah, what's on your bucket list? Would you like to travel the world? Live your best life? What if I told you you could blow right this minute and do everything on that list? Airtel is celebrating its anniversary and saying thank you to all loyal customers. You stand a chance to win up to 100 million naira with guaranteed cash tokens in the Airtel Recharge and Blow Anniversary promo. Plus 250 megabytes and 20 SMS free. How awesome is that? All you have to do is recharge to win. For more information, dial *444*4#. Everyone's a winner. So hurry now. The more you recharge, the more you win.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
The federal government has commenced second phase of COVID-19 vaccination. If you are 18 years and above and unvaccinated, register at www.nphcda.vaccination.gov.ng. Visit the nearest vaccination site to receive AstraZeneca or Moderna COVID-19 vaccine as first dose. If you received your first dose of AstraZeneca vaccine before 8th July, get your second dose now. All COVID-19 vaccines are free and certified safe. At the vaccination site, you can check blood pressure and know your diabetes risk status. Children aged 0 to 23 months will receive childhood vaccines and screened for malnutrition. After vaccination, continue to adhere to COVID-19 prevention protocols. For more information, visit www.nphcda.gov.ng or call 0700-220-1122. This message is from the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency.
Sometimes before I step on stage, my mind gets clouded. But that's when I know it's time to take that deep, tum-tum cooling breath.
Give your kids winning energy. Milo Active Go. With the goodness of malt, milk, and cocoa, helps them make the most of every day. Milo, the energy to go further.
While watching Win Millions promo, millions of naira, daily prizes, and 1 million wow sachets are up for grabs. Buy wow now. Offer valid till 25th October 2021.
Each wow pack gets a lot of clothes clean and fresh. Wow! Washes a lot, saves a lot.
The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, invites all honorable ministers, head of the Civil Service of the Federation, federal permanent secretaries and top government functionaries to a 2-day midterm ministerial review retreat to be presided over by His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The retreat is scheduled as follows. Date, Monday 11th to Tuesday 12th October 2021. Venue, State House Conference Center, Presidential Villa, Abuja. Time, 9 a.m. daily. The objectives of these midterm ministerial performance review retreat include the following. To report on the progress on the level of implementation of the ministerial mandates along the 9 priority areas of the administration. Review performance of ministries and identify key impediments to implementation of the ministerial mandates. Re-strategize on how to accelerate delivery of results given the current key economic situation. Accreditation of participants for the retreat will commence at the venue on Saturday 9th and Sunday 10th October 2021 at 4 p.m. each day. Attendance is mandatory and strictly by invitation. Announcer James Sule, Permanent Secretary, Cabinet Affairs Office, Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation.
Welcome back to Weekend File. With a vast arable land, Nigeria should take care of its nutritional needs, but still, import of some food items at high prices is a situation worsened by the activities of middlemen. President Muhammadu Buhari, in his broadcast to the nation on the 1st of October this year, expressed regrets on the sharp practices in the sector. In this report, Musa Baba Aliyu examines the steps the federal government is taking to address the situation.
The rains have started withdrawing in most parts of the country, creating an atmosphere for farmers to reap what they have sown. And markets like this are the first point of call for farmers, where they supply their produce for an exchange for cash. In a harvest time like this, prices of agricultural produce usually drop, as supply is always greater than demand. For the past 2 harvests, the prices of agricultural produce have remained high across the country. The recent figures released by the National Bureau of Statistics show that food inflation was as high as 21.83%. Factors responsible for this, according to merchants, are high demand and competition in purchasing, especially grains, and security challenges in some farming communities.
So that's why I'm always praying for this banditry to be over, so that people can go back to our large-scale farmers can go back to their farms, whereby a person can cultivate 30,000 metric tons.
While the security agencies are winning the war against insurgency and banditry, President Muhammadu Buhari has also directed key government agencies to find lasting solution to the disruptive and unpatriotic activities of middlemen and hoarders of food items.
As our food production capacity has increased, food prices have been going up due to artificial shortages created by middlemen who have been buying and hoarding these essential commodities for profiteering.
He also directed the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development to work with the Nigerian Commodity Exchange and the National Assembly to rehabilitate the National Food Reserve Agency to boost food production and address artificial food shortages created by the middlemen.
To further enhance food production, we have completed several new dams and are in the process of rehabilitating several river basin development authorities to enhance groundwater supply for rain-fed agriculture as well as surface water for irrigation agriculture.
It has been observed that agricultural sector remains key to the economic diversification efforts, as the sector has remained consistent driver of the non-oil sector, contributing 22.35% and 23.78% to the overall GDP in the first quarter and second quarter of 2021. In Abuja, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
The availability of grains in Dawanau International Market in Kano and Maigatari in Jigawa State provide the food sufficiency the country requires. However, the influx of foreigners at the two markets poses shortage of grains, thereby affecting the supply chain to neighboring states. Muhammadu Rabiu Ali reports.
Nigeria is blessed with the availability of agricultural resources and have one of the largest grains markets in Africa, Dawanau International Market. However, Sufficiency in food supply to other states is now minimal, owing to the fact that the 2021 harvest is yet to reach to the annual market. Experts attributed this factor to influx of buyers.
Whenever I come here, if the price is comfortable with me, I buy it, and if it is not comfortable, I go to other states.
As a result of which we experience this influx of foreigners, particularly from neighboring countries. I'm talking of Niger, Cameroon, Chad, and including Benin, of course. So that also added to the pressure, already existing pressure domestically because of ban of importation of food, and now that our food is relatively cheaper in neighboring countries, then they come for it, and that added to the pressure on the demand. And of course, whenever there is pressure on demand of a particular product, the price will skyrocket.
And from migratory grains markets, Ibrahim Sani reports that the influx of traders from Niger Republic to purchase grains in exchange of beans with their Nigerian counterpart become a source of concern to stakeholders. For now, the market is set to reach its peak of grain supply due to delay in the harvest being experienced in parts of the country, a situation contributing to fluctuation in pricing of the grains. The middlemen are now having bricks business between buyers and sellers from the two neighboring countries.
The capacity of our homemade also made it so expensive.
Today is my first time, and coming here, I must say I'm not disappointed. Yes, because the type of rice we want to buy, the price they have been able to give us is cheaper.
Experts believe that review of policies in import and export of goods, especially grains, will go a long way in cushioning the effect of food supply and improve the nation's economy. Muhammadu, NTA News.
For some persons in the southeast, private sector investment is required to increase food production and not rely on government alone, bearing in mind the role of the government to provide incentives. Chine Imoye takes a look at the 2021 harvest in Enugu State and reasons for high cost of some food items.
Amaka Aneke is a trader in one of the markets in Enugu State. The recent rise in consumer prices are practically pushing her to outright distress. Restocking her shop for food items for sale has always been an issue.
Perishables right now are very costly due to one, transportation, fear of the unknown. There's people that used to travel, but now I don't think they're traveling.
Latest survey also shows prices of most food items spiraling out of the reach of consumers.
Many people have become so afraid of going into the farm. With this level of security challenges we're having in the country.
The holding of goods by middlemen is done when there is envisaged scarcity. But if food production is coming to market on daily basis, your holding makes no sense. At the end of the day, you lose.
There is, however, hope in Nigeria because Enugu State, just like other states in the country, witnessed a bountiful harvest this year, 2021. And this is attributed to a lot of factors.
And the harvest is good. This year we had good rainfall. In most of our farms, we've not had issues of farmers problem.
If you go and chop somebody's farm, you must pay for it. And if they kill your cow, the people will make sure that they pay the money of the cow. So for peace to reign. So we are peaceful in Enugu.
To further enhance food production, President Muhammadu Buhari, in his first October 2021 broadcast to mark Nigeria's 61st independence anniversary, said several new dams have been completed, while his administration is in the process of rehabilitating several river basin development authorities to enhance groundwater supply for rainfall agriculture. With all these measures put in place, it is hoped that agriculture, which has been a constant driver of the non-oil sector in Nigeria, will contribute higher to the percentage of the overall gross domestic product. In Enugu, Chinenye Muye, NTA News.
And of course, we've been joined in the studio by Ola Dotun Abiodun, Head Market Information System, Nigeria Commodity Exchange. Welcome to Weekend File.
Thank you.
Good thing it is no longer rumor that we are now talking about the issues of middlemen in our food provision or production. In fact, it is even commendable that the presidency has noted that emphatically, and has also actually directed certain bodies, including the Nigerian Commodity Exchange, to go headlong and tackle that situation, because we cannot as a nation toil with food insecurity. Now, our question at this moment is that the directive came as far back as Friday. What has happened so far? Have these concerned bodies hit the ground running in that regard?
Yeah, thank you very much. Good thing the president himself has identified the challenges we're facing as far as food security is concerned. At the Nigeria Commodity Exchange, we have actually started our own bits of the bargain. But importantly, we need to understand the reasons why these merchants are making a kill of the common masses of Nigeria. The reason is because the opportunity for the farmers to have access to a warehouse receipt system is not there. Or probably we can say that the farmers don't have the knowledge. There is information asymmetry. They don't have the knowledge that there is a warehouse receipt system that can be of help to them. How does this system work? It works by the fact that if a farmer produces his commodities, there is an accredited warehouse where the commodities received and quality parameters are determined, and a warehouse receipt is issued to the farmer. The warehouse receipt can be taken to a bank for bank facility. You see, the challenge of the farmer is he needs the cash almost immediately, and these middlemen, they have the cash to be able to buy and even shortchange the farmers. But when the farmers are aware that they can take this commodity to accredited warehouses, they can get the warehouse receipt, they can use the warehouse receipt to obtain bank facility, this problem is going to be solved. So, and whenever they now want to sell the commodity, they are afraid to sell the commodity, and the bank that has advanced the loan to them will recoup his investment, and the balance would be given to the farmer. You see, it's very important also for us to understand that government needs to really go a step further. If possible, let's have an executive order tied to the pronouncement of Mr. President on October 1, especially with regards to tackling these challenges that we're having in our hands, the food security challenges. Look at the food inflation figures released by NBS, National Bureau of Statistics. If you compare 2020 August figure to August 2021, you discover that in 2020 the figure is 16%, while in 2020 August is 20.3%. However, if you look at it from January to August of 2021, you discover that there has been a marginal decrease in the food inflation figures. And hopefully with the new harvest that is around now, we expect that the food inflation figures would go down. So we are advocating, and we are also asking the relevant authorities to ensure, the National Assembly also inclusive, that an executive order is in place. An executive order is tied to the pronouncement of Mr. President, so that we can once and for all tackle this problem. The warehouse receipt system is going to help to be able to curb the excesses of these middlemen. With that in place, there will not be need for any farmer to sell to a middleman that is going to make a killing from whatever activity they are carrying out. So information is going to be made available to farmers. They will be aware of what the present commodity price is, because we have a robust market information system at the Nigeria Commodity Exchange, where we regularly on a weekly basis churn out prices of commodities. So farmer knows what the price is, so nobody is coming to cheat him.
All right, you just say that those information will be made available to these farmers that we're talking about. How soon?
Yeah, it's what we're doing presently. If you go to our website, www.ncs You'll find the prices, weekly prices of commodity, market by market. So when farmers are aware of this, and of course we are still going to take it a step a notch higher by going to media houses, especially the radio stations, to be able to broadcast this information, so that the man that has the transistor radio right in the farm, in the bush, can have access to this information, because probably not everybody has access to the internet facility.
Media outreach you're talking about.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right, we'll talk some more. Oladotun Abiodun, you're watching Weekend File on the NTA. Do stay with us. We are discussing food situations and, of course, federal government's efforts to make food readily and more available to the people. Stay with us.
Federal Republic of Nigeria Senate Committee on Trade and Investment invites all relevant stakeholders and the general public to a one-day public hearing on the bills for an act to repeal the Copyright Act Cap C28 LFN and to reenact the Copyright Act 2021 for matters connected therewith 2021 58.688 and 58.769. Date 12th October 2021. Time 12 noon prompt. Venue Conference Hall, room 231, second floor, New Senate Building. Host Distinguished Senator Francis A. Fadahuse, OFR, Chairman, Senate Committee on Trade and Investment.
Getting GoTV was the best decision James has ever made. See, finding a good place to watch football was never easy, but it was costly. Until one day, James discovered something big. He can finally say, our home, our football.
Get GoTV plus 1 month max subscription for only 6,900 naira. You sef fit enjoy the Bunga football leagues wey dey, plus better cup competitions this football season. GoTV, love it.
Nigerian youths are about the greatest assets the country has at the moment. It is therefore not surprising that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is strategically responding to the yearnings of the youth through multiple projects and programs. Youth Entrepreneurship Support Years by Bank of Industry, the Youth Investment Fund by the CBN, and several other conditional cash transfer programs. Recruitment of 774,000 social workers, majority of whom are youths, and so many other projects that are beneficial to youths directly or indirectly. If the administration can do all this, definitely with a degree of patience and time, it can achieve more. Nigerian youths must come together to say no to terrorism, no to vandalism, and no to all disruptive tendencies. Hashtag Youth for Greater Nigeria. Pacifying the youths, unifying the nation.
Welcome back. Mile 12 Market, located in Ketu area of Lagos State, is the hub of wholesale and retail food businesses in Nigeria, as it supplies 80% of food consumed in the state. Imolai Otokade Ogunfawara in this report takes a look at how the activities of middlemen affect the demand and supply of food items.
Mile 12 Market is one of the major hubs for food, man's most essential need in Lagos State. This is where families and businesses come in search of fresh and cheap food items. It is also a business haven for Joseph Dadan, a native of Plateau State, who, along with other wholesalers, imports truckloads of yam into the state for onward distribution and sales to consumers. While admitting that there is a spike in the price of yam and other food items, Joseph says the selling price is often impacted by hike in cost price, as most of the food items are either imported from neighboring countries or sourced from far-flung villages by middlemen who later pass them down to retail distributors.
From Kwara to this place, the transport is very, very costly, and revenue from roads from each state and from each local government, they always paid revenue.
And this time, Sokoto, you don't go. Nazaria on the Bringa. Even the Zaria itself, they don't go. So now we go add money.
So a truss of tomato can spend more than 2 to 3 days on the road before coming here to Lagos. If I told you the loss that was inside the trucks, it cannot be identified.
Buyers who are at the receiving end of such hike in food commodities also accused middlemen of arbitrarily inflating the cost of food items in order to protect their own profit margin.
Yes! They are putting too much money. Some people that they have money, they'll go to a village and store it. Maybe they buy like 5,000, 2,000. They'll come and sell it 20,000 because we don't have money to buy and store them.
The problem we have next from the middlemen to have to what is happening, not only the government. You get me? But if they can come together, raising their own, then the government is asking the government to do the work. The government cannot do it alone. No?
The way out, according to experts, is to introduce and strengthen price control policies, while government is also expected to evolve measures to increase disposable incomes of Nigerians.
Everybody does whatever they like in the market. That's why the so-called middlemen are leveraging on the gap.
As the federal government sustains its numerous interventions in the agricultural sector, it is hoped that the distribution chain will also undergo necessary change for the benefits of intended beneficiaries. In Lagos, Imole Ayotukide, Ogunfowora, NTA News.
Gombe is one of the states known for its supply of variety of farm produce to many parts of the country. In this report, Abbas Bekando takes a look at this year's harvest and the affordability of the farm produce to the consumer.
Gombe State, situated in the northeast sub-region of the country, has 75% of its over 2 million hectares of land suitable for agricultural activities. Currently, there are over 900,000 hectares being cultivated across the 11 local government areas of the state. No wonder reports of 2021 crops production estimated thousands of tons of cereals and other types of crops to be harvested at the end of the season, as provided by Gombe State Agricultural Development Program.
The harvesting is just commencing, but we scientifically have a way of calculating our projected production. And so if we go by that for this year, for millets, I can tell you categorically that we are expecting nothing less than 467,000 tons this year, yes.
However, despite these projections of bumper harvest, the prices of the foodstuff that already arrived market are still high. Like in most northern states, prices of foodstuffs are usually higher in October as harvest period approach.
They go to the villages, especially during harvest, buys it at a giveaway price, and then at the end of the day, in short, transported it within a day, they may make double the amount. Now, they exploit the farmers that are in the villages, fix prices the way they want, not only in the agricultural sector, but actually all sectors.
A bag of maize now costs 22,000 naira, a bag of millet 16,000 naira, rice 41,000 naira, sorghum 21,000 naira, while cowpeas cost between 68 and 70,000 naira per bag. The prices are expected to come down at the end of the harvest period. In Gombe, Abbas Mekano, NTA News.
Let's return to our guest on the program tonight, Oladotun Abiodun, Head Market Information System, Nigeria Commodity Exchange. Of course, we're discussing this all-important national issue. Everyone is indeed concerned about it because food is really important to the nation. In fact, in Nigeria, the agricultural sector has contributed immensely, to the nation's drive for non-oil revenue. But then one would also say maybe greed and corruption are part of these issues of economic sabotage to us, and that is why many people will also be happy to know that the National Assembly is part of the groups or bodies directed by the presidency to work out a solution to this entire matter. Where do we go from here? Are we looking at it from the point of law? Are we looking at it from the point of appealing to conscience, or are we just looking at it to do it as practically as ever?
Yeah, I think it's very important for us to have an executive order. Executive order that will give some kind of mandation for anybody that is going to buy some quantities of commodities. For example, if you talk of the staple commodities, the staple food, the maize, the sorghum, and all of that, let's have that executive order to stipulate that if you are buying in excess of 5 tons, buy it through the exchange. And if it is for export commodities like cocoa, cashew nut, sesame seed, if you are buying up to 1 ton and above, buy through the exchange. You see, the issue of profiteering will be cut off because the exchange is guided by rules and regulation, and you cannot just do as you wish. There is a mechanism for price discovery. The exchange thrives on price discovery, quite all right, but there is a mechanism for that. So if you are going outside a particular band, the system is going to flag you and necessary action will be taken. So if you have that, it's going to go a long way in helping us to tackle this issue. Apart from mandation, the issue of law, there's also the need for us to have incentives.
Okay.
Incentive is going to be a sweetener to encourage people to come. For example, you are an exporter, you want to export, there's an incentive for you to have export levy rebates. If you are aware of that, you know that patronizing the exchange is going to be of help to you. If you are an agro-processing company, excise duty rebate, you are going to have it if you source your raw material input through the exchange. Is going to help you, but this is going to be for a short while.
All right.
By the time the system stabilizes, we can take off these incentives.
We perfectly understand that. The sooner these information made available to those in question, it will happen. Now let's look at this issue of rehabilitating the National Food Reserve Agency. That's another big one.
Yes, the National Food Reserve Agency, they are saddled with the responsibility of strategic reserve. In case of food crisis like this, government intervenes to depress the price. However, there is need for transparency.
Okay.
The transparency can only happen on the exchange because the exchange thrives on transparency. When the issue of issuing LPOs to procure or purchase grains or food items to the strategic reserve has to stop. Let there be a rule that any procurement to the strategic reserve must be done on the exchange. And when government is intervening also by releasing this food item to the public to depress the price in situations like this, it must be done through the exchange too. We have a platform for that on the exchange. We call it policy auction platform, which we will always activate to find solution to that
Well,
issue.
thank you, Oladotun Abiodun, Head Market Information System, Nigeria Commodity Exchange, for coming on Weekend File tonight. You've actually enlightened us on so many areas on this same matter, and we want to wish you and the other bodies luck as we fight this menace. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Of course, you're watching the Weekend File. When we return, Ayo DJ Makinde will be here with sports updates and more. Stay with us.
President, engineer and project supervisor of the second Niger Bridge project. The second Niger Bridge project is a project that has been conceived for a very long time, but it has finally come to life during this present administration. This project has a lot of socio-economic benefits, and it has impacted positively on the lives of the host communities, both in Anambra State and Delta State. The people are very happy. The host communities, they partnered with us because apart from the social benefits, indigenes are also employed on this project. We can see how their lives are being improved.
This message is from the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Thanks for joining us and welcome to Sports Updates. Super Eagles intensify preparations in Douala, Cameroon ahead of their 2022 FIFA World Cup qualifier with the Wild Beasts of Central African Republic. The players and officials touched down this afternoon from Lagos, where they had lost by a lone goal to Central African Republic on Thursday. The team has since vowed to bounce back in matchday 4 encounter as Nigeria leads Group C with 6 points, followed by Cape Verde and Central African Republic on 4 points and Liberia on 3 points. Away from football, after weeks of unresolved internal issues, delegates to the Extraordinary Congress of the Nigeria Basketball Federation have agreed to hold elective Congress on October 30 in Benin City, Edo State. The Extraordinary Congress held in Abuja Saturday with 36 states and FCT in attendance as enthusiasts of the slam and dunk sport await a free and fair electoral process in 3 weeks' time.
As a family, you are expected to lay a solid foundation for the game and ensure inclusiveness of all persons who love basketball so that the game can move forward in this country. Once again, I urge you to provide the enabling environment for the sport we all love to thrive without rancor and bitterness in Nigeria.
This is a time for us for greater responsibility and progress. We must come together in truth and discard the mistakes of the past. There cannot be no shortcut to success. We need to work hard at it. We are one family, and we should always promote the bonds that bind us.
Barely 48 hours after their inauguration by Youth and Sports Development Minister Sunday Dare, Karate Federation of Nigeria has rolled out blueprints that can get karatekers in the country competing at the highest levels again. President of the Federation, Silas Agara, told NTA Sports in Abuja after an inaugural meeting of the board. Plans to make karate attractive to the youth, aggregate outstanding talent to the country, and also drive sponsorship.
We want to see karate participate in Nuga next year, 2022, for the first time in the history of karate. Secondly, we want to improve on our ranking at the African level. Thirdly, we want to have a technical in-depth of our coaches, our referees, so that we can have more coaches more referees at the world level.
And that's your sports. Just a quick reminder that the trilogy between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder is in the next few hours in Las Vegas, USA. Back to Kene.
Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, that promises to be a big one later this day. Of course, let's now take a look at the weather situation for Sunday.
Hello. This is what to expect Sunday morning to look like. Over the north and central region of the country, cloudy skies with some peaks of sunshine are anticipated. However, there are prospects of thunderstorms to parts of Taraba and Benue states. The southern states are not left out, as parts of Ogun, Osun, Ondo, Edo, Enugu and Imo, as well as the stretch of the coast, are also expected to experience morning thunderstorms. Taking us further into the day, we expect most parts of the southern region, including parts of Kwara, Kogi, FCT, Kaduna, Plateau, extending to parts of Taraba and Adamawa, to also be active with thunderstorms. I am Theodora Aitu. Thank you for watching.
That's Weekend File tonight. Thanks indeed for being part of it. And of course, NTA is against rape and rapists. Join us in that battle. I am Kenan Ima Abulike. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thank you.